Hi everyone, welcome back to Violet Mystic. I have been gone for a little while, have had a lot of life instances that have kept me away, a lot of things happening, a lot of internal things changing, I suppose. So I have felt a little awkward about recording, just due to everything. So I've missed the monthlies, I've missed the weeklies. I'm not starting off a great on this year, but I'm here today. So instead of doing the normal monthly, weekly, whatever catch up, I'm just going to let whatever comes through, and we'll see what messages you need to hear today. I did get a new deck. Oh, by the way, and don't mind my nails because I painted them yesterday. I had had a really emotional day yesterday and decided I'm going to treat myself and paint my nails. And as you see, they look really messy and I'm just going with it. So, don't pay attention to my nails. But anyway, we have this new deck here. It's called the Once Upon a Time Tarot. I really like how it shuffles, and I love the imagery on it. It's just very whimsical. There's a lot of good stories in the book as well on how they relate to the cards and the symbolism of each card. So we're going to use that today and perhaps maybe supplement with a time and place, yes, no type of answer if that comes up in the reading. So we will see. So, what is something that those watching this need to hear today? What does everyone need to hear today? I feel like this one wanted to come out, so we'll keep that, but I feel like I need to get more. All right. So we have this one. It is the Three of Swords. And then these two came out, so we'll read them together. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Did I say Three of Swords or Five of Swords? It's Five of Swords. Maybe there's a Three of Swords message in there too, so we'll touch on that. It's not the actual card that came out, but if I said Three of Swords or I'm thinking about Three of Swords, then that could be a part of the message, so we'll look at that in a minute. We have Knight of Pentacles, and then we have Ace of Cups. So we have a little bit of an issue here, but then we have, as a supplementary message, some pretty positive cards. So let's get into the message. So Five of Swords is typically about someone who is kind of being a troublemaker. They've caused a lot of strife. They've gathered all the swords for themselves, as you see in the card here. They've taken the swords for themselves. They've got like kind of a smirk on their face, I suppose. Like, hey, I've got it all now. Like they think they've won, but look at the people in the back. They're walking away. They've lost, and this is a painful betrayal. So either you could be doing that to other people, in which case this is a message for you to stop that. But I feel this is more talking about those in the background who have been betrayed. Someone has... I'm kind of being drawn to this little fairy. I want to say maybe a fairy character here. It almost reminds me of the scene in Peter Pan where Tinkerbell is just kind of scolding Peter about something. So this feels like this person, whether it's you or another person, I feel like for most people it's another person causing this and you're the one walking away. I feel like they're being scolded, so they're getting reprimanded for whatever's happening in the background. You don't see it, but there's something happening in the background to kind of, I feel like maybe karma, or they're getting their own back in some way. So you don't need to worry about that, but there is something that has happened that has caused some emotional strife, a situation where something unfair has happened. But I also see here, since these two came out together, that the advice here is to keep moving ahead. So you keep working on whatever you've got to work on for yourself. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight of all four, and it's more about slow progress, slow eventual progress, you know, taking one step at a time, making sure everything is done correctly and that you have everything in order before you move to that next step. So you'll get there, but it's a slow, meticulous, and deliberate process. But you have also Ace of Cups, so there is an opportunity here to perhaps maybe mend this emotional strife that's happening through an opportunity that allows you more freedom of expression, or more creativity, more feeling a sense of wholeness come in through something that is brought to your attention. And it seems like this bird here is depositing a coin into the cup. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, or the coins, and she's holding a coin, or they're holding a coin. And this bird here in this card is depositing the coin into this cup. So that makes me feel like whatever this emotional opportunity, or this thing that sparks some kind of internal change within you, might have something to do with a physical opportunity, or an opportunity to maybe change jobs, or a little seed that somebody drops, little birdie told you something type of thing. That's what I feel like. So it's an opportunity that has to do with an income, or something that is going to be a positive change for you physically, or in the material rather, that will kind of help you move on from whatever this is going on here. So I feel like now I want to get the time and place, put those cards over there. So let's see here. I do like these cards. They feel really nice to shuffle. And the other ones too. I have small hands. I recently got another deck. I'll show you. This one right here, I love the artwork. And it's got a pretty rose gold gilding on the edge. But look, these cards are so pretty. The artwork is beautiful. I don't know if you can see it very well. My lighting's not great. But the artwork is really pretty here. The only problem is that my hands are so tiny, and these cards are actually larger. So you can see for size here. Yeah, and even another deck. These are a little bit larger, but yeah, you see how much larger these cards are. So they're harder for me to shuffle, and they're a little bit thicker. So even though I love the look of them, they are, sorry, trying to put the cards back. Even though they are beautiful, I have a hard time shuffling them, so I use them less. Oh, I was just told to look at that card. Oh no, that's that one. Okay, all right. So the next card that I just pulled out of the deck, I just felt like I needed to pull another card, is the Nine of Wands. So yeah, whatever's happening here, you've been through a lot. You're standing your own, which is a good sign. So you still have the strength to keep going ahead. You're just going to have to go ahead a little bit longer. But anyway, I just felt like I needed to pull that card. So let's get some indication on when this opportunity might present itself. So when can we look at this opportunity or this path opening up, this spark, this opportunity, this emotional feeling, whatever it is that is kind of like the catalyst for you taking action on this next path. When can you expect this to come in? I feel like it's taking a cue from the Knight of Pentacles here and taking its sweet time. When will this happen? Okay, that one. Next week. Now, take this with a grain of salt. As with all things, this could be the next week when you get this idea. It could be next week that you get this idea. It could be the next week after, if this hasn't happened yet. After this happens, then the following week is when you get something. Next week is when this thing could happen. So just kind of take it with a grain of salt, and within a week of some significant catalyst event or change of thought or something that you notice within the next week of that could be when this thing happens and something starts to take shape. So we have that. Let me try to organize the cards a little bit more here. I have a little bit of limited space here. I'm working with what I got. Okay, what else can we get from this situation? I want to pull an oracle card for you. So let's see. And I'm actually going to put this right over here. I feel like that needs to go there. So let's get some information on what you could do in the meantime. I think I want to shuffle another time. Yep. So what can you do in the meantime? What is the best course of action for you in the meantime? Either while you're dealing with the fallout from this situation, or you are waiting for this idea, or trying to figure out how to move ahead on this next path. What can you do? With this knowledge in hand, what can you do? What actions can you take? That one? No? Yeah. All right, so this one I feel like I need to pull, but whatever comes out next is the card that I need to read first. I know that was weird. Because I almost put it back, and then I felt like, no, I need to pull this, but that's not what needs to come out first. So we'll see if the order of it matters. So I don't know. That was a weird feeling, but let's see. Okay, that's this one. Okay. Seasons of the Witch, honoring cycles. Ooh, okay. Let's put this up here. Familiar, deep bonds. Okay. So, Seasons of the Witch. The light is not being friendly. Okay. Let's see what the book says. So my first thought here, seeing this before I read the book, my first thought seeing the Seasons of the Witch, honoring cycles in relation to all of this, I feel like that's an indication that what's happening here, this is a significant next stage of your development, of your life. This is a canon event. Oops, sorry, bumped the table. This is a canon event, as I said, an important thing that's happening, and it's something that needs to happen. So it's something that you need to honor, even though it might be uncomfortable or painful, or frustrating, perhaps. Whatever negative emotion may be tied to this, it is something that needs to happen and something that should be honored as part of the process. So let us read the book. Where is it? 28. Okay, there it is. So I will put this here so you can take a screenshot if you prefer. Okay. It says, life is full of ups and downs, twists and turns. The earth uses the seasons to beautifully illustrate the cycles we all face in life. The seasons also remind us that everything has its challenges. Everything has its challenges. Sorry about the camera, I keep moving it. There we go. Are we happy with that? Okay. Where am I? The seasons also remind us that everything has its challenges, no matter how beautiful it is or how much joy it brings. Equally, even the roughest time offers lessons. Even if subtle or small. Spring bursts with color and beauty, but also comes with its fair share of wind and stormy days. I actually like stormy days. I feel like the rain is rather peaceful. Now, of course, you don't want to go driving in a tornado, but, practice some caution there. But if you're at home and like you're off for the day, or you've already gotten home for the day, and then the bottom falls out of the sky, you are safe in your home. You have nothing to do that day, or nothing outside to do that day at least. And just the peaceful rain, the thunder in the distance, the rain falling on the window, to me it feels peaceful, and it's like the rain is washing away the stress sometimes. That's what it feels like to me. So I've always kind of loved the rain. And the rain is very important to the growth cycle as well. So a little bit of, for those of you that like endless sunshine, the rain is helpful as well. So next it says, summer provides a bounty of fresh fruits and vegetables, but may be hot and often very dry or humid. Now, yeah, I am one who hates summer. I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. It's too hot, it's too humid. Well, where I grew up, I don't live there anymore, but where I grew up and spent the majority of my life until last year, it's very humid, extremely humid. The feels like temperature can often be over 110. So, and you take a shower, you walk outside, and you need another shower within 5 minutes. Very humid, very uncomfortable. And there's often heat warnings to tell you to stay inside. So, not great. But the summer is needed to help the growth cycle. It's just part of the year. It's part of the things that happen. So fall. Now it says, fall is a cooler and rich... I can read. Fall is cooler and rich with jewel-toned leaves. Yes, I love fall. But eventually those leaves fall. And winter brings about cozy days, but wintry weather can be challenging, even dangerous. Now, I have never lived anywhere yet that has had super dangerous wintry conditions. Maybe a few storms, but that's light in comparison to what other regions get. So I haven't really had to deal with that, so I can't really speak on those experiences. But from what I've seen in news reports and weather reports, things like that over the years, there are some really dangerous winter storms that can cause a lot of problems, if not a lot of significant damage as well. But on the other side, winter is also peaceful and beautiful. So either whether you live in a mild climate that just has a mild winter where it's just cold, Maybe you get some snow here and there, which is where I lived. Or you live somewhere where you have 5 feet of snow until spring. It's still a peaceful time for the most part, I feel like. Now, if you disagree, let me know in the comments and let me know why. But that's just my feeling. But what it's basically saying is that every season has its ups and downs. So it's about recognizing that even the negatives have their place. They're there for a purpose. And likewise, I feel like this thing that's happening, whatever has gone on or whatever will be happening, don't get upset about it. Don't be worried about it. Don't fear it or anything like that if it hasn't happened yet. And it may not happen. This reading may not be for you. But whatever this is, it is there to teach you something, and it is serving its purpose. All right, so moving on in the book, it says, everyone faces obstacles. Even the most comically connected person has trial. Or comically. Maybe some of you have a good sense of humor about this. Anyway, the word I meant to say was cosmically connected person has trials. This card guides you to learn to embrace the cycle you're in without trying to change anything. You're here, you are here for a reason. Ask yourself, how can I release control of what's detrimental in my situation, and what positive elements within my control can I focus on instead? So this isn't like spiritual bypassing or anything where you're just avoiding all things negative. This is, how can I learn from this? What can I do to make this situation work in my favor? So if you keep finding yourself in negative situations, pulling this card is a clear sign that you're failing to learn the lessons from this phase of your life. You will continue to stay here as long as needed until you understand and grow. Continuing to date the same negative type, failing to speak up for yourself, that's the thing I have trouble with, speaking up for myself, and letting others disregard your boundaries is another thing I have a problem with. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I'm learning. Facing financial ruin immediately after a period of wealth, or finding your best intentions are always misunderstood, are all signs of stagnation. Similarly, if your circumstances are favorable now, reflect upon the choices that have brought you to this point. How can you strengthen in those areas to ensure happy cycles in the future? Are there any ways you may be blocking yourself from experiencing more consistent joy? So those are very important questions that you can ask yourself. Very insightful things to think about there. So this next card that I was told to read second after this, even though it fell out first, familiar, deep bonds. I wonder if this is a family member that may be causing this thing to happen. Or maybe it's a family member that helps you. Maybe it's a family member that puts this little idea in your brain, and this little spark, this little emotional shift that causes you to figure out what to do on your path. Somebody you're deeply connected to. It could be also found family, like a good friend or someone you have a deep emotional connection to. Doesn't have to be blood relative. Found family is very often more beneficial to us than our actual family. Sad but true. I know from experience. But I don't remember where I was going with it, but I do notice that this familiar, it could also be in the sense of familiar as in, which is familiar. Familiar words. Oh my God. See how this person is holding It could be a good friend, like a wild fox. Looks like it's a fox. A wild animal, at least, that is their friend. It could be their pet. But either way, pets can often be seen as family members as well. So this could be, maybe your pet or an animal that you take care of, or an animal that you frequently see in the wild that maybe you've befriended because you're Snow White or something. Maybe this animal or pet family member shows you something through their actions. Maybe there's something that happens that you look at them and just something sparks in your brain. Something happens. Something like maybe, I don't know, a lot of things could happen with this situation. But whatever it is, maybe they're trying to show you something through their behavior or something they do, but it sets off this idea. And again, like I said earlier, it could be that this is the person that does the thing that makes you have to pivot or have a change of focus. But either way, you need to honor whatever that is that happens and recognize that it's there for a reason. It's there to teach you something. So I want to get a final card, kind of like a little uplifting message to leave you with. Now, as I was trying to grab the deck of cards, this one fell out because I'm clumsy. And it says, expand. Growth is often uncomfortable. Oh my God, you can't make this up. Growth is often uncomfortable and messy, but necessary. Okay. So, that literally fell out as I was trying to, I almost dropped it on the floor, landed in my lap. But that is a card that definitely needed to come out. So let's see what else we can get here. Totally unintentional, but looks like it was the right card. Oh, I feel like that one was wanting to come out. The sun, rise to the occasion. Okay, and I want to get one more. 3 is a nice number. Oh, that one, okay. Replenish, the sun will rise and we will try again. So you have 2 mentions of the sun. So the sun is rise to the occasion, replenish is the sun will rise. Sun could be you in this, and we will try again. So we could also be an indication that you're going to have help. So perhaps you're going to have help on this next part of your journey, whatever happens here. Maybe somebody witnesses whatever is going on and they're like, hey, that wasn't fair. I want to help you. Let's figure out what to do. Or I know I have this idea, or something happens and they want to help you somehow. Or maybe they point you in the right direction somehow. Or maybe they say, maybe somebody steals $5 from you or something, or maybe you lose your wallet and somebody takes it, or maybe somebody hacks into your bank account and you get scammed or whatever. Now this would tell me that you're immediately going to get it back. You call your bank, they freeze your whatever, and then they return the money to you because they found the person who scammed you immediately. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying this is a scenario that just popped into my brain. So in that case, this person is like, oh wow, that was crazy. So let me help you. So I'll buy you lunch today, or here's $20 to fill your gas up with so that you can still get to your job while you're waiting for your bank to sort this out. And this act of kindness gives you the idea to maybe start your own business, or maybe pay it forward perhaps, and then that sets off a chain reaction on its own. But whatever this happens, or whatever is happening, maybe they are the one who gives you this source of inspiration here that starts off this path. Or maybe it's a family member who helps you out. So lots of possibilities, of course. I mean, you know, take what resonates. Put in the comments what happens. You know, if you remember to come back to this video and something like this happened to you, let us know what happened. Let us know what the catalyst event was and what inspiration sparked the new path, or what you learned from the whole ordeal. And also let us know if it happened next week. So come back next week and see to this video and see what happens. Bookmark it or something. But yeah, these are your messages. I guess we will see the next time I record a video here what the messages are next. Maybe we'll have a follow-up, or maybe we'll have another lesson, or maybe we'll have a weekly. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see. But for now, this is what I have for you, and I will leave the names of the decks in the description below. And we'll leave it there. Right. Bye!